How's it going, everybody? I'm going to try and do this in one take, no edits, just one-on-one talking with all of you from the title of this video. I never thought I'd be making a video with this title, since I started this channel, and honestly, I'm there. 2023 last season was the greatest season of my life in terms of football. Okay, watching my idol hold up the greatest football player that I've ever seen win the World Cup. Julian Alvarez wins the World Cup. We're in the Champions League final in the country that I was born in. Hamid Altintop, Tuncay Şanlı. These are two players that I'm 100% sure that 99% of you have never even heard of, don't even know, and that's fine. These two players are so dear to my heart. National emblems, heroes of mine. They were there. Yaya Toure was there. Mario Balotelli was there. Dzeko was there. The captain of my club, İlkay Gündoğan, is Turkish too. So, in Istanbul, and I saw all the Man City fans crowding Istanbul. I saw all the images and all them partying. Some of you were there, partying in some of the streets where I walked, where I played soccer. It was just a beautiful, beautiful way to win my club's first Champions League. It meant a lot to every single Mancunian. It obviously means more to them than it does to me. I understand that, but personally, it meant a lot to me because it was in my home country. So, the point of this video is honestly thanking Real Madrid. First and foremost, thanking Real Madrid. Like I said, I'm not going to go through the events that unfolded. I'm not going to go and give you all PTSD of Rodrigo's 2 goals against us, but I will say that Rodrigo scoring those 2 goals pretty much highlighted a key element to our game that we didn't have. We have the players, we have the shooting, we have the rotations, we have the depth, we have the manager, we have the best players in the world, the best midfielder in the world. We just didn't have the mentality. There was a video that was posted on Manchester City's channel, and I advise you go watch it because it's awesome. I'll put a link down in the description down below. It's from 2011 to right now. It pretty much highlights all of our Champions League runs, all the way from our first game at the Etihad Stadium in September 2011 against Napoli. Alexander Kolarov, free kick goal, our first Champions League goal, up until Rodri scoring in the most chaotic way possible in front of the City fans. That was a moment I'll never forget for the rest of my life. And if there's one phrase that entire video pretty much exemplifies down to the letter, attack wins you games, but defense wins you titles. I cannot think of a better statement for the entirety of that video. If you want to sum up that video, it shows you that our attack was there, our finishing was there. Yes, we slipped up here or there, but for the most part, our defense wasn't there mentally wise. We definitely had the players. We definitely had the quality in terms of our defense, okay? We just didn't have that short 5-minute mentality period that we needed at the end of games to close them. And that's where we fell short for a lot of games over the course of the last 4 or 5 years. And honestly, for the first time in my life, for the first time in like 5 years, because honestly, we've been competing this is our 13th consecutive season in the Champions League. For the first 6 years or so, I didn't really think we were in the best shape to win it. But this is the first time in 5 or 6 years where I'm actually very confident that we can win this competition and go back to back. So, and honestly, Kevin De Bruyne is injured for 9 months. Jack Grealish right now is back in training. And if we can play our cards right, no disrespect to the other 3 teams in our group, but we should be getting past that group pretty easily. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to say that's actually disrespectful. I apologize. We should be getting past that group without too much trouble. Going to Serbia against Red Star Belgrade is going to be hell, but we'll get past that. Against Leipzig, Xavi Simons, 20 years old, man of the match in his first Champions League game. He looks absolutely amazing. So, we should be getting past this group into the knockout stages, and by that time, Kevin De Bruyne should be back. And by that time, Julian Alvarez has been playing out of his mind lately. Julian Alvarez and Phil Foden have been pretty much the 2 standout players. Obviously, more so Julian Alvarez, because Julian Alvarez has played 8 games. He has 8 goals. He's been absolutely stunning since the start. He's my favorite player of all time is Aguero, and seeing like another Argentine come into, all of you know how much I love Argentina. So seeing a player like that come into this team and just completely just revolutionize our attack and just keep our attacking flow going, it means the absolute world to me. All right, by the way, I hope you like some of my new jerseys that I got there. I got R9, the new City jersey that I got, and Andres Iniesta. So I'm going to be changing some of my jersey collections, my jersey wall periodically, but I've got a lot of jerseys. I think I have like 20 or so. Maybe I'll put Zidane and Kevin De Bruyne next, but regardless, Manchester City in the Champions League. Another point that I want to highlight is I saw in a video that Man City put out there, it was Man City against Porto in the Champions League when we lost. And I saw a little moment when Pep Guardiola went to Khaldoon al-Mubarak, and there was like this little verbal exchange. And at that time, I was thinking, what did he say to him? We just lost the Champions League final. He spent so much money. The news, Bleacher Report, Football, Sky Sports, these are all news outlets that are partnered with Manchester United. I think Bleacher Report is partnered with Liverpool and Manchester United and Arsenal. All of the red teams, all right? The media hates blue teams, all right? Man City, Chelsea, you name it. They hate blue teams, all right? I'm not even kidding. All this pressure, all this money, all this, talent that we've wasted, and we couldn't win it. I wonder what he said, man. I wonder what he said, but I finally got my answer. And this is apparently what he said.
Pep was the first person I spoke to. What I said to him in his ears was, thank you. Thank you for bringing us here, making it here. And, we'll be back.
That right there pretty much exemplifies why I love our owners and the difference between our owners and the rest of the owners. He trusted the process, and we got it there in the most emphatic way possible, a treble. 2023, Manchester City is one of the greatest teams in the history of the Champions League. We might not have a ton of history. We're the second fastest team to 50 Champions League wins. I think we're one of the fastest teams to 100 Champions League goals, and we went unbeaten in the last campaign. I think we drew like 4 or 5 times. The rest of them were wins. And that's what you have to do. It has to be strategic. If you noticed, in the games against, in the round of 16, quarterfinals, the semifinal, away from home, we drew. At home, we annihilated every single opponent because we knew that the mentality that we had in the earlier stages didn't work out. This picture that I have saved on my phone, hopefully I can find it, and hopefully you're seeing it right here, pretty much exemplifies what I wanted Man City to be at the dawn of the Champions League final, right before the Champions League final. I love seeing those images on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube of our players smiling and being happy during training. But honestly, when you need to get the job done, you need to be serious about this, and business had to be done. We took care of business. That's why we won the Champions League last season, because we had the mentality. Defense won the Champions League. Ruben Diaz's header, I don't know how he instinctively got that header off the post. Ederson with the best performance of his life. Manuel Akanji with the pre-assist to the Champions League goal. Okay, Kyle Walker and Nathan Ake shutting down the wings. It was a defensive massacre. John Stones with the most dribbles in a Champions League final, on par with Lionel Messi. Held it down. John Stones, that was one of the best performances from a defender I've ever seen in my life. Any sport, any final, any match, period. He was disgustingly good. He was disgustingly good. Okay, so the point of this video is that I actually believe we could win the Champions League because we have the minerals, we have the history, not in terms of winning it, but in terms of failing. We have the history and the mentality to go far in this competition. And honestly, Wembley 2024, it has Manchester City written all over it. We've been there so many times. I've never been to England. Fun fact, my sister and my mom were in London all of last week, and they absolutely loved it. So hopefully I'll go to England and to Manchester, maybe, in 2024. We'll see. Regardless, it's written in the stars. I can feel it. Pep Guardiola winning another Champions League title in 2024. This video might come and bite me in the ass, but honestly, I've never been this confident in my life. I'm sure all of you are feeling the exact same way. All the trials and tribulations that our team has been subjected to over the last couple of years, we've been past that. Khaldoon al-Mubarak trusted the process. Him and Sheikh Mansour have donated so much money to the city of Manchester. Man City is actually in Manchester. Manchester United is not really in Manchester. We are in Manchester. And Manchester City we're so profitable. The amount of charity work that my club has done, it's mind-boggling. And honestly, I'm not going to tell you the reason why. I'm not going to really speak it into existence because people are pretty sensitive to this topic of why the news media outlets, these Liverpool-run, United-run outlets, don't really give the respect to our club than to other clubs. I'm not going to tell you the reason, but honestly, I don't really need to because privilege is invisible to those that have it, ladies and gentlemen. And if you can't really understand it, then you're definitely not a Man City fan. I'm sorry to tell you. If you're a Newcastle fan watching this, you'll understand in a couple of years. But Sheikh Mansour has donated so much money to the small businesses of Manchester. We have so much, our stadium expansion, our new venues for new entertainment centers, buying big players, going far in Champions League runs, having these world tours in Japan and in Asia. It's absolutely smart. These are the components of a big club. We are officially a massive club. We were this a couple of years ago, and now it's just calling Man City a small club. And if you're actually serious, you just sound like an idiot. And honestly, I have never been more happy of supporting this club in my life than right now. And honestly, we could win this Champions League, and I back myself to win the Champions League. I back this club to win the Champions League. The favorite, in my opinion, I'm not going to single out one specific team because, like I said, even if I do think I'm confident enough to win the Champions League, I'd never want to give my club pressure to do anything and to win something. Real Madrid, Manchester City, Bayern Munich, those are the three favorites to win the Champions League. I like our odds. Statistically, we might not even face any of those two. Statistically, we might face only one for the most part, but we faced both of them last season. And honestly, I feel confident that we're going to do this again. So let me know how you're feeling about this Champions League campaign. For the first time, I'm actually so incredibly excited. There's a lack of pressure. Pep Guardiola said this in an interview. It's going to be a little bit easier to win the Champions League because he knows how to do it. He's not going to overthink it. Let me know what y'all think. Can Man City win the Champions League? And let me know your confidence level down below. Thank you all so much for watching.